Got it, done.
So this new friend, she had learned to paint needlepoint in art school in college at Chenard. It was the name of the school. It's a different name now. It's still there. And she, when she moved up to the Bay Area or closer to Half Moon Bay, the Bay Area, she um, just kind of reached out and she got in touch with, she looked Dee Dee Ogden up and she started painting for Dee Dee Ogden. And I go over there and visit them and watch her paint. And I kind of say, I could do this because I was painting paintings. So I knew how to paint. Um, and that's kind of how I got started. She taught me how to paint it. I started working for Dee Dee Ogden and it eventually went out on my own, and that's how it happened.
Oh, how fantastic. And then my understanding was your first connection was to Status Symbol in Burlingame. Is that correct?
I did my again the same friend. She worked for she painted for another designer in Southern California, and she would deliver work to the shops in the Bay Area that she painted.
you guys are getting
Drop something off at the Status Thimble, and they won. It was Mark and Marlo Faulkner, and they wanted to know if she could design for them or she could paint for them, and she said no, but I have a friend who would, and so I went. She drugged me over there, and I met Mark and Marlo, and they represented me with a group of people. They had kind of they got several artists. Katie Molyneux was one of them. That's where I met Katie, and it's there were others, and I can't remember them. Katie stuck out in my mind, of course, because of who she was, and she was such a wonderful person anyway. But there was maybe six of us, and that's how it started.
And then
And after a while, I went off on my own.
right. And then so when you went off on your own, as I recall, you sort of kept things under wraps a little bit. You weren't broadcasting to the general needlepoint store population. That you kind, as I recall, you sort of selected stores that you were working with, and then eventually you broadcasted to the entire needlepoint shop population.
When we had left the Bay Area and we had moved up into the foothills. And so I was shipping my work to the Bay Area, and then they were shipping, it was like double shipping. And so we decided to just, so I was shipping to directly to the stores that were in this the stores that we dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I just decided that I had formed relationships with those people. So I just was on my own at that point.
Right.
And it was like one shop in each town or one shop in an area. So say like Houston, they had several needlepoint shops in Houston, but they only chose one, and it was this delightful couple who had a shop that it was in an office building upstairs, several stories, and they were called Two Gray Hills. And I always thought it was
What are you
they were
doing?
both pretty old and had gray hair. That wasn't it at all. Two Gray Hills is actually a place in Texas.
That's where I started needlepoint, was at Two Gray Hills.
Did you really?
Oh,
Well, they were wonderful, and one of the first shows that I went to in Washington, D.C., he had worked for NASA. She was a spitfire of a little lady from Mississippi, and we palled around all over Washington, D.C. Shirley. Went to the Aeronautics Museum with him, and they were really special.
Yeah.
They were actually married here at Hamilton Air Force Base.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
He was stationed there in the war. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So, not to take the spotlight away from you, Melissa, but Joe, can you, you might want to give everybody a little bit of your background, which I think your background is more to do with four-legged people instead of two-legged people.
Mostly, yeah. I'm actually a certified service dog trainer for over 30 years. I worked at Guide Dogs for the Blind and Canine Companions for Independence and Dogs for the Deaf and whatever.
Suzanne Attenborough, who is in this group, she is my social media woman, excuse me. She also works, Suzanne, you work for Canine Companions, or you volunteer for them?
Yeah, I'm a volunteer puppy raiser for CCI.
Awesome. I was a puppy program manager back in, I don't know when, 1994, years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an awesome program. So I was a full instructor, lead instructor with them for 12 years. So
Didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. So obviously you dealt with more four-legged people than two-legged people. And it sounds like, were you volunteering, or was this a paid position, or when
with
you?
dogs or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was a paid instructor.
I see. Okay.
Full instructor, fully certified professional instructor. I specialize in training hearing dogs for people who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's sort of my side job. I mean, I just do that on the side now because that's what I love. When I moved up here to Amador County, nobody wants a trained dog up here, so I couldn't make a living. So
She trained my dog.
Did you know that when you moved up here?
Yeah.
Wild ones.
People too.
Yeah. And I have miniature horses, and I have a donkey named Rico Suave, who Linda knows well.
Oh,
Rico Suave, he's adorable.
Rico Suave, yes.
Videos on.
By the way, Linda, he sends his love.
Good.
So the way I met Melissa, which is kind of fun because I grew up around needlepoint since I was little, probably 9 or 10. My mom was a stitcher and actually was like I called her the master stitcher because she taught classes in, she did some painted canvases, but most of her stuff was like metal work or whatever. I don't even know. I mean, I have some of it hanging in my home. It's beautiful, but
Now,
my sister was designing needlepoint for a local shop in Tarzana when she was 16. And I worked in the shop when I was older. So I've been around it forever. So after we moved up here to Amador County, I trying to find dog business, which wasn't happening. I walked into a local gift shop in Moke Hill. McCollum Hill. Sorry, that was the short version. And I was talking to this woman who owned the shop, and she says, I said, well, what do you do when you're not here at the shop during the week? She says, oh, I work for a needlepoint designer. I went, I do mean needlepoint. She goes, really? I mean, we're talking about, there's like only 40,000 people in this town, so in this county. And so we started talking. She says, yeah, I work for Melissa Shirley Designs. I said, cool. I said, well, if you ever need help, let me know, because I know needlepoint, I've been around it. So pretty soon they called me, like just a couple months later, and I went and interviewed and they hired me. So that's how I ended up.
Hey, we love it.
My mom passed away 6 years ago. And I said, my mom is like turning over in her grave and singing hallelujah, because I know she knows Melissa Shirley.
Of course, of course.
That's a very,
Now, a question that I have been dying to ask Melissa that I've never asked you, and it won't be personal, I promise.
uh-oh.
What is your favorite color?
What?
What is your favorite color?
What is my favorite color? Gosh. Well, I always would say my pat answer would be yellow, but
Oh.
I don't know if that's true now because I like those really pukey greeny yellows.
Oh, me
That's what I was gonna say.
These are my new pillows on.
Yeah, like that.
That's my accent color is the pukey greeny yellow. Mhm. Yeah, good. In fact, I just,
I like all colors.
yeah, me too. Me too. I kind of do too. I mean, there's a few that kind of deathly purple. I don't know, but for the most part, I do too. So tell me, with COVID, are you designing a lot right now? Are you sort of stepping back from that, or?
I have a new design on my desk right now, and we've been sort of going along, designing new designs. And, eventually we'll probably in the new year, we will start releasing them.
Right. Right.
No.
So we just aren't, going to any trade shows because of all of this. But we are continuing to sort of operate on the same schedule.
Mhm.
And for a while we weren't, things really slowed down. A lot of the shops closed. But you know what? People were still, even with the shops closing, they were doing like curbside needlepoint
Mhm.
across it. It was pretty amazing. And I thought, women are great. It's such a great community
It is a great community. We're
across the country.
actually able to reopen the first week of June, and we reopened to abbreviated hours, and we allow 3 people in the store at a time. Of course, you have to wear a mask. We've had one dissenter in the entire time we've been open, which was a man asking for directions, and he was incensed that we asked him to put a mask on. And he was very upset. And I said, if you can't put a mask on, you got to leave. And he told me about his service in Vietnam, like that had anything to do with wearing a mask. And he did leave promptly, which was good. So,
Oh,
for the most part, everyone has been wonderful, really wonderful. And I really do think there's been such a resurgence. We're receiving quite a few calls from women that are saying things like, I bought a canvas from you 25 years ago and I just found it in a drawer. And I wonder, can you match the thread for me? So, we've certainly had, we've seen an uptick, and we're seeing a lot of young women come in that are interested in starting needlepoint as well. So which I think is great. So I was going to say, ladies, if one of you would like to ask Melissa a question, I know a lot of you are currently muted. You can unmute yourself. If we could try to go one at a time, or if there's a way we can go one at a time, that would be great. So Stephanie, I'm sure you have worked on a lot of Melissa kind of stuff, and I think Melissa knows who you are.
Well, I
Hi,
wasn't
Stephanie.
actually planning a question, but I will be starting stocking number 24, which I still haven't sent to you in email, but it is a Melissa Shirley that was purchased something like almost 20 years ago.
Oh,
But I will not ask you to match any threads.
I appreciate that. I do
But I
appreciate it.
would like to ask Melissa, what is the title of this canvas?
Oh,
Is it
gosh.
called Frost, or is this a Magi, or what is it? Can you see the canvas?
Yes, I can see the canvas. I'd have to look them up real quick.
Well,
He's not a magi, he's a Santa, isn't he?
I don't know. I've got a canvas number. It's 507 CC.
That'll help.
Okay.
In the meantime, Melissa, does this look familiar?
Dated 2001.
Okay, well, I can look them up pretty quick here, once I got on.
Well, you know, I didn't mean to bring this to a screeching halt. That was the only question that I had for Melissa.
Well,
I'm gonna look it up, Stephanie.
and we're
Okay.
gonna give you a title, but he's definitely not a magi.
I don't know. You know, it's hard to say what he is.
He's a Santa.
He's a Santa. I mean,
He's a
we just do
Santa,
Santas, but
And I always wanted to mix it up. So I mean, I couldn't have done as many Santas as I did if they all were in red and white.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I gave them different outfits. That's what what it was. Okay,
507.
507. 507 what?
CC, wasn't it?
See.
I think it's 507.
He's the winter Santa.
Winter
Oh,
Santa.
there you go. And
No.
appropriate time to be working on him.
That's right.
Of course, it technically is autumn, and I guess winter is 12/21.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll be the solstice. So, which my anecdote on the solstice, everyone look in the sky because Jupiter and Saturn will appear to be one planet, which will be really cool.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah.
I saw that on Facebook. I didn't read it. I saw that on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I would like to know where you get your inspiration. I mean, what do you do? What?
You know, I think I think mostly it's one thing leads to another. So, I mean, I look at a lot of art and I look at a lot of, I mean, I definitely like certain things and something might just appeal to me. And, you know, it comes from a lot of different places, but if I do one thing, then you may have noticed I will do I have lots of series of things. And that's a kind of a fun thing to do. Like I just, I had done a bench this last year and it was very successful. And I really liked doing it. I was really pleased with it. So on my work table right now is a new bench. So I'm going to do a new bench, and I'll probably do a few more in different, you know, different settings. The one that I did the first time was a seaside bench, and this one isn't near the water. So that's kind of how it works.
Well, and tell everybody what that green and white house is. The little green house that's in a lot of Melissa's work. Is that not your home?
your house.
Oh, I have a greenhouse. Yes.
That's what I thought.
Which house is
Well,
that?
there's the greenhouse. There's a stocking. It has a greenhouse. It has a tree in the front, a Christmas tree, and but there are several of your canvases that have the that beautiful, almost aqua green house, and I've always assumed it was your home.
Well, my home is that color, and I have featured it in not, I mean, not this house specifically, but a two-story house. I have an old Gold Rush era house, and we're lucky to have it. It's been here for a long, long time.
Was it 18?
It was built in 1867. So I bought it from I bought it from a man whose grandfather owned it. And this guy that I bought it from, he sort of modernized it and made modern bathrooms and put in a modern kitchen where before it was pretty old. I mean, it was it wasn't as nice as it is now, or as convenient as it is now. So we went to two miners. We went to Berkeley to look up the house, and it was they went and got their archives and brought out these big books. We had to sit there and not touch anything. And there were two men, they were miners, they were gold miners, and they are the ones who built this house. And their sister came, and they were from New York, and their sister came and to live with them, and she wrote all these letters home to New York of what it was like to live in this little town of Jackson during the gold mining days. And all those letters were, someone down the line donated all her letters to
Oh,
Berkeley.
great. That's
So
great.
they
Oh
are
my gosh.
their original handwritten. And she talked about she talked about the house. She talked about the music that they would play out, in the neighborhood. It was really fun. It was really a neat.
It was a real privilege to be able to see that.
Yeah.
I
it
was just wondering if you recognize this one. Can you see the bottom half of this stocking? No?
Can you-
Can you see it? It has a bear and a globe.
Oh, yes.
No. I've been working on it now about 3 years.
Oh, how are you stitching the globe?
I have Trebizond.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I go up like this and thread it through the needle and loop it back over like the old Ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And so it's 2 strands. So I'm stitching the whole globe with 2 strands of this.
And then it comes through, and then what's in it comes through.
It's coming through, yeah.
Yeah, how
So it's
wonderful.
shimmering,
Yay.
yeah.
Well, that will look good.
I tried before and it was too much.
Yes.
So we do have a question. Someone just typed in a chat. How do you select your subjects from antiquarian prints and paintings?
Well, it's just pretty much based on what I like. And I do collect, I look for those things, those old, and sometimes I manipulate them. I will change them around a little bit. They have to be old, they have to be out of copyright. I'm very big on copyright and honoring copyright.
Hey, Joe Helen.
That question came from me, and I'm familiar with a number of the prints and paintings that you have used as your subject matter. I think you have excellent taste. Some of those botanicals, the birds, which I don't think you have in your repertoire now, from a German printmaker a century and a half ago, I think is extraordinary. And the mushrooms, the current canvases you have, those are from antiquarian prints, are they not? The red and the green mushrooms?
Yes.
Those are lovely.
Thank you.
Those
Oh,
are
we have a friend who is a avid mushroom collector, and I had him in mind when I did those. And when I lived on the coast, I collected mushrooms also.
Are you using a different painting service now? Because the canvases that I saw in Linda's shop on Saturday, I have a number of your canvases that I purchased over the years, and the paint does not look the same, and the depth and intensity of the colors looks a bit different than in the past. So it looks like you're using a different painting service.
No, No, we have always, and some of the things we paint in-house. So, and everything that we send out, we touch and look at and make sure it's right. Before
I'm not saying that they're not perfect. I don't mean that at all. It just looks different than it did in the past.
Huh,
So they're lovely. They're lovely.
well,
I-
thank you.
I
Well,
might
and part
interject.
of it is that, you know, we have to order paints. And so I think over the years, some of the paints have changed and there's more colors available and different. So there may be some subtle differences that way, don't you think? Too, just
That's-
because paints change over the years when they're mixing and
That's
making.
probably what's
Uh-huh.
happened then.
And different manufacturers of the paint. So that could be what you're seeing, I would guess.
I would imagine you're right.
Now we have a technical question from Susan Jordan, who would like to know if tree skirt 049-5 has a slit in it to put around a tree trunk.
It does not, but you could stitch it that way so
Yeah.
that, you know,
May I say that we had a customer stitch that who has twin boys, and we fabricated it so that the two halves would come together. In other words, they cut it down the center, fabricated it, because she wanted one son to have one side and one son to have the other side. So that worked out very well. So we created the slit in the fabrication.
I think that my thought was that whoever stitched it would have their favorite side and they would put the slit where they wanted it.
Right.
And so I sort of left that up to the stitcher. So,
Yeah.
it comes in sections too, does it? Does it come in sections? Or is it just always
no,
that
that
big
one's a
round?
solid, but
Okay.
again, you could, like you said, you could kind of adapt that. You know, we're just the designers of Melissa's a needlepoint designer. We try to leave that stuff up to the stitchers, so.
Which I think is very wise of you.
Yeah.
Stitcher and the store owner can figure out the fabrication and
That's
yeah.
your job.
It is. In fact, we just had a situation occur. A customer brought in several items for fabrication and insisted on using her fabric. And what she brought in was a rayon velvet. And for those of you who sew, you know rayon is very difficult to work with. And I had mentioned that the finisher had editorial say on the fabric. And she said to me, if you can't use my fabric, I want the pieces recalled. And of course, I get the call from Marlene.
Oh,
Ouch.
Marlene does not-
This is Marlene. And I am telling you, I cannot use this fabric. And I could just imagine this red hair, floating out in space, being crazy and wild. And why do you send me this fabric? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, it's okay. Don't worry. Just send me the pieces back. It's fine. And obviously, I hope to be able to explain to this lady, but I have a feeling whoever gets the fabrication job in the United States, I don't know how they're going to work with this fabric, but that's me. I figure if Marlene can't do it, nobody can do it. So
Marlene will definitely refuse it. She did
Yeah.
that something like 25 years ago to me.
yeah, well,
So I have a tree skirt comment. The big tree skirt without a slit,
yeah.
if you're using an artificial tree, you can put it around the stand before you put the tree in the hole.
Oh, wow.
And then you don't need a split.
Yes.
Then that's why you get the 401k and the big bucks. Let me
That's a
But
great.
it doesn't work for a real
I'm gonna
tree.
remember
or-
that answer for next time.
I have a question regarding the tree skirt. Would it be better to decide where the slit should go before you start stitching, or go ahead and stitch and then decide later?
Um,
Linda, what would you do?
I would, when we did it, the customer who was the stitcher had absolutely no thought in mind as to where the slit would go. Her focus was on having this being able to split it in half.
Right.
She stitched it. In fact, she did an open background that was very, very effective. And our finisher was able to split it in half and created hooks so that when it was in her home, it could be hooked together so that it appeared as one large tree skirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, or I think you would probably have to put that in before you started stitching it. I can't imagine doing it afterwards. You'd end up cutting stitches, so.
Well, unless it's kind of like those people that knit, the Norwegian people who knit the sweaters and then they cut them. Call that skilling or skilling. They cut the sweater to put a zipper. I mean, that would just freak me out to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
called steaking.
Oh, thank you. Thank
STEAING.
you. Oh, yay, Hollis Bischoff. Yay. Our resident knitter. Yay. Hollis used to own a knitting store, ladies. So she speaks from total experience.
It's called steaking. It's scary as hell. And you can do it on any sweater, but you better have a good sewing machine or good hand sewing skills before you cut.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I bet.
I don't do it. And
Some of our skirts, like our Halloween, we have Halloween skirts, they're actually in panels. So it'd be really easy to figure out where to split it. And you can either buy it as a whole circle, or you can order it, you know, in individual panels, which makes it easier to stitch and then put it together afterwards. So.
So Melissa, can you tell me, just to remind me a little bit, because your line, your product line is so vast and so varied. And now with the different artists that you are bringing into the posse, I mean, how many designs are you currently operating? 8 million or?
They told me the other day, I
Since
forgot.
I keep count, I can tell you that Melissa's prolific and we have over 13,000 designs.
Oh,
Not all current, but a good, you know, 10,000 of them are, so.
how do you keep track of them? Because I imagine that's,
How do you?
how do you do it?
We have a great database, so, and we work really hard at tracking them.
You say a prayer over the computer every night, like do the sign of the cross, you know, and hope that nothing happens.
Yeah, I just hope that we don't reach our maximum and no one tells us, so.
Exactly.
How long is it taking now to get orders painted?
Right now, we're running at 5 months to get something painted that we don't, you know, if I don't have any
Stock.
order, so it's about-
Oh, my gosh.
which is, I've heard from everybody is what everybody is.
Right, that's
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
right. All the lead times are out. The fit and it really is due to COVID. I know at first I wasn't terribly understanding with regard to the finishers. They, you know, their lead times kept going out and out and out, and I kept thinking, well, what, you know, what the heck? Well, then someone had to tell me the reason that they've gone out is that the finishers um, had to work alone during shelter in place. We do try to patronize California people as much as possible. I believe in patronizing people within my own state when I'm able to do so. But that said, so two of my main finishers are in California and are in the Bay Area. And they had to tell me that once shelter in place was lifted, that then they had to socially distance their seamstresses, and that then they were working at a half staff. So all the lead times are out. Even fibers some have been very difficult to get. I know for a while, white and black were like at an all-time premium. And I thought, man, I'm going to go into my stash and I'm going to like sell this thing quadruple what it's worth, but I didn't do that. Because the angel on my shoulder said, don't do that. So, okay, now we did have another question from Susan who asked, would you reconsider painting some of your retired canvases?
We are looking at our retired canvases a lot. We go back and claw some of them back into the, and I think we are going to actually sit down and look at them, because when we discontinued them, we just took our catalog and went from page 1 to, it was arbitrary in a way. So we're going to go back and bring some of them back.
Oh, good.
We do it.
We actually
We
do
do
go
it,
through them constantly, and we're looking at a lot of them now. And you know, it depends too. It's kind of like, it'd be the same as like Linda with your shop. If you have a particular design that just doesn't sell, you're not going to buy that again.
Right.
That's exactly how we have to look at it too. If we have a design, I mean, Melissa's work is awesome. You know, like I said, she's one of the top designers in the world. Of course, I'm biased, but
you're right. And
but-
that's why you get
the reality is there's some designs that you do that just don't seem to really take off much. And so those are ones we're not likely to bring back because it's not in our best interest. So, but there's a lot of designs out there, because when Melissa started, I'm not going to date her, a long time ago, decades ago, a few decades ago. We're the same age. I can talk this way. You know, it was before Facebook and before the internet, and it was the only time you could see her stuff was in a catalog or whatever. And so there's a lot of Melissa's designs that no one's really seen because they weren't out. You know, they've been out, or they're old enough. They're, you know, the part of the vintage time when no one really saw them. And so those are the ones we're looking at and trying to bring those back, because there's some beautiful pieces and fun pieces. And so those are the ones we're looking at now to try to maybe bring back to show people, say, here's some more that, you know, we think people will like. But again, we do have to look at it from the business standpoint too, is that there's some designs that maybe one person might like, but it doesn't, we have to paint more than one. So it's not necessarily in our best interest to bring some things back, but we are always looking.
Well, I have
run a
let me
business.
show you mine. So I have this one that I know I did not pay $600 for, but now it's like on sale at many shops for $600. It's the owl with the sunflowers.
Oh,
That's a
And
wonderful canvas.
all around, because my mom's maiden name is Hoot, Hoot, like the owl. And my dad was from Kansas and had sunflowers. So when I saw this at, you know, La Jolla, Needle Nook of La Jolla, I had to have it. So this was, but I don't know how long ago I purchased this, but I realized it was, you know, it's from you.
Hey,
And then I also have,
Heather,
yeah.
my husband is from Kansas.
Oh, yes. Oh, so yeah, that's from Effingham, a tiny, tiny little town. But then Needle Nook also did this one, the owl, you know, again, an owl. So you did a series of, well, this was Debbie Mum. So I wanted to know, Debbie Mum was somehow connected. It said Melissa Shirley, or does Debbie Mum work for you, or?
Debbie Mom is a very well-known, established artist all by herself. I license her work.
Oh, is that?
So we choose which one, you know, what, you know, we have her catalog of artwork, and we can choose what we want to turn into needlepoint, and she lets us do that. And we pay her when we sell the canvas, then we pay her, a part of
A royalty.
a royalty.
Oh, I see.
And that's the same with all of our artists. That's how it works. And some of them, I just fell in love with their work, and I thought, oh, this would look nice in needlepoint. And I really enjoyed knowing these other artists. They're all over, but a few of them are from the UK. Some of them are right here in our
Who's
own
from the UK? Who's from the United Kingdom?
SD
Estee
McLeod is.
Uh-huh.
Emma
Williams.
Emma Williams is.
Hey, you know what? I have a question for you. I was just mentioning to everyone that I love Fortnum and Mason, and I love their catalog. And the catalog is always chock full of these fabulous designs. And I reached out to one of the artists to see if, through their agent, to see if they would be willing to license that product to needlepoint. Well, the minute I said the word needlepoint, they went, who do you think you are? And of course they said no. But it would be interesting. I might send you some of those artists' names. You might have a better chance of.
Usually when I would contact somebody, I would explain to them and how it works, and give them my website so they could see. And I really play up how needlepoint, at least in this country, I don't think it's the same in the UK, for instance.
So let me just briefly interrupt. Number one, Denise Park had a request to bring back the wee teapots that they made great ornaments. That was one idea. And then Susan Jordan, I just tried to answer you, and I answered Hollis Bischoff instead. I apologize. But Susan, if you have a request on an old design you'd like to see revised, you can come and tell us, and we will submit your request on your behalf to Melissa and Joe. So certainly, if you have something that you think is wonderful and you want to see it revived, we would be happy to intervene for you. So there's
And
that.
that's how we would like it too. We always refer everyone through, we work directly with the shops. And so we would like that information to come through the shops. Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, now ladies, now, the time is drawing nigh, and we promised only approximately 45 minutes of Melissa's time this evening. We don't want to overtax her. She and Joe are busy girls.
This was more fun than I thought it would be.
So this evening, in honor of Melissa's trunk show at Old World Designs, and in honor of Melissa and Joe, we are raffling off this canvas, which is a Melissa Shirley canvas. This is not one of her licensed designers. This is a Melissa Shirley. And we are raffling it, if you guys can see, with one of these little wee scissors. So in my magical bowl that I made in my ceramics class. Oh, she runs a store and does ceramics too. I can't believe it. I know. Okay, so let me pick a name. I'm turning the bowl away.
It's mine.
Mix it up, mix it up.
Okay, I did. I promise I did. Stephanie Wong.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Hey, Stephanie won. Do, 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 do. Isn't that so exciting? Stephanie, you won. Now you have to do 2 Melissa Shirley canvases. There you go. Okay,
You're muted, Stephanie. You're muted.
Stephanie, you're muted. I will send this to you via USPS. You're muted, Stephanie. I can't hear you. You need to unmute.
You can't hear.
Left side.
There you go.
There you go.
There, you're on.
Hang on to it because I need to deliver a Christmas stocking to, I think it's Redwood City, and I might be able to slide by the shop.
Okay.
Rather than you having to package and send, if you could hold it in will call, that would be
I
good.
will hold it in my will call just for you. Okay. That's fantastic.
Right. Cool.
Okay, so ladies, do we have any final questions that we'd like to ask of Joe or Melissa before we're signing off? I'm so happy to know your favorite color is yellow.
What's your favorite baseball team?
Yeah.
My favorite baseball team, the Giants.
I know. I knew that.
Yeah. So, and Melissa, you was a fan of Buster Posey, but I think he's on hiatus right now because of his 2 adopted new children. Is that correct?
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
He actually just announced his retirement. He's not coming back.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, he said he wasn't coming back. I saw it.
Okay.
My husband just said no, but I saw he did. So
we're
gonna have that argument afterwards. I'll let you know if I'm wrong.
Someone else will come along that you'll fall in love with.
You guys, listen, it's up to you guys. You're more than welcome to stay here, with us. If there are any other questions, of course, we are happy to entertain them between now and quickly. Obviously, you guys are more than welcome to stay, but I don't want to, I know you guys are busy and I don't want to keep you. So it's up to you.
Hey, can I put a shout out to a couple people I know there, Debbie and Judy.
Hello.
The Napa A&G that I used to be part of. And
okay, so Debbie Thomas and Judy Ziegler and Myra.
I was just looking through, I didn't realize you could scroll through all the people who were there, so.
Yeah.
Me.
Debbie.
I actually just got here.
Who else is there?
Because I'm actually taking a quick break because I covered California was down all day today. And so now I'm playing catch up because they're back up.
Well, good to see you.
But I wanted to say hi. Can I tell a quick story about Melissa?
Yeah.
Okay. Linda heard this story. I don't know if you remember me, Melissa. Can you see me? I can't see myself.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can.
So I don't know if you remember meeting me in the Phoenix airport many years ago.
Gosh, I don't.
And you sent me an angel. You sent me an April angel. And I
for heaven's
in the thank you card I sent you, I told you I was going to start taking classes. Well, that's what started me doing needlepoint was you.
That's a good story.
So I started taking classes because I knew how expensive her canvases were and I didn't want to do basket weave.
No.
And so you were the one that really got me going in needlepoint. So I just wanted to say thank you.
That is really sweet.
Well, it was a nice gift you sent me. I mean, who else got an angel from Melissa Shirley?
Yeah. Hey, I met her in an airport one time and I didn't get a canvas.
I started taking classes. That's why I started taking needlepoint classes. Then I ended up joining the guild and where I met Joellen and some other people that are on the call, Denise and Myra and who else is there's other people on here, Jan Heffron,
Stephanie Long.
Hi, Helen.
So
hi, Joe.
Hi,
Joe.
Yep. How's your sister doing, Joe?
She's doing good.
Good. Tell her I said hello.
I will.
Helen,
Thank
there's
you.
Helen. Yes, and that's how I met Helen too.
This sounds like
And Judy.
There's Denise. Hi, Denise and Janice.
This is
Hi.
like old school.
This is like old homeschool. Gosh.
It's like Miss Nancy's romper room, and I see Linda and I see Melissa.
Right, right.
Who else is there?
Gosh. This is
But
packed.
you
It's a packed
created a
room.
monster, Melissa. I'm
I
sorry
was
to
wrong.
hear
He has
that,
one
but-
more year on his contract.
Oh, okay.
Good.
And they have to decide whether or not they're going to opt in or opt out. It's a $3 million buyout if they don't take it.
Oh,
But I had seen, what I saw was an article that said question mark, and the first line was he's retired, so, but he hasn't. He's still deciding.
Uh-huh. Well,
Playing him at first base a lot because of his
first base. He's a catcher, isn't he?
I know, but weren't they trying him at first because he was injured?
Yes,
Yeah.
they wanted to preserve his playing longevity.
Oh, he's such a good guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he did want to retire, but I'd miss him even though I live in San Diego. I missed him.
Go Padres.
What? No.
Well,
Oh, right.
I rooted for the Giants too because of Boch.
Oh,
Bruce Bochy. Yeah. He's a good guy. So I rooted for the Giants. If the Padres weren't doing well, I'd root for the Giants.
There you go. There you go. So are there any other questions any burning questions or comments with regard to Melissa's product line?
I have a question about Mary Lake Thompson. I really like the ones you choose of hers.
Oh, yeah.
Where is she located? And
Mary is located in Auroville. So I'm in a little foothill town, and so is she. She's pretty phenomenal. She started, I think she started, what was that place? The nut tree? Remember? The nut?
oh yeah.
Vacaville. Oh my God, I miss that place.
She used to do like little paintings, and she showed them or sold them at the nut tree. Gosh, long time ago. And she just has a phenomenal reach, and we love her work. They're just delightful to work with.
Yeah.
And it's kind of silly, but I've never met her in person. So maybe this next year we will get in the car and drive to Auroville and go meet her in person.
Nut tree in Vacaville?
Yes.
Really? Because that's where I am.
Well, this was years, oh gosh. It was decades ago.
Well, I've been here for decades.
She's an oral.
I've been here since the 60s?
Probably.
Yeah, I've been here since the 60s, so that's interesting. Okay. Wow.
I have to say,
know it.
The nut tree was like one of those wonderful places, and we would always stop there on the way to Tahoe. They had a fabulous gift shop, and the restaurant. What I remember of the restaurant, they had something on the menu that was always served with marshmallow fluff. Yes. And I always wanted it because I could dip that marshmallow fluff. I mean, who cares about what you were dipping? It was just to get the marshmallow fluff.
Yeah, they had the train.
Oh, they had the nut bread, didn't they? Wasn't there?
Oh, something. I think it was fruit.
They were known for their cookies too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do cookies in all different kinds of shapes.
And
you can have them decorated any kind of way you wanted.
Right, with your name on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And everybody worked there in the summer.
Sadly, what happened when the parents died, my understanding was that the children could not agree, and they ended up selling to some corporate entity. And so now there is still a nut tree, but it's all little shops and a bunch of,
Yeah.
it's not what it was.
No, it's not the same.
No.
They still have the train that goes around.
Oh,
And
they
still
do?
have some of, they still, well, it's in the, like the factory stores, but it's across the freeway from
Uh-huh.
where the nut tree actually started. And so the train, they still, it's not $1 anymore. It used to be like $1 or something, 50 cents on the train, and they have the little conductor to go around. So the train still goes around, but some of the original animals, they used to have like a tall giraffe and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of stuff they still have there.
Got
it. Next to Fenton, so the ice cream, so where all the kids are.
Got it.
The other thing, they lost, one of their relatives died in a plane crash when all that stuff was going on. It was pretty tragic.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but the Powers, that's a Power family, and they do, one of their sons is a judge, and the other one, he's a developer here in Vacaville. In fact,
oh,
they took like 2 lots in downtown Vacaville.
Mhm.
They have a beautiful home
I
downtown
bet.
Vacaville in the old part of town. It's a brand, new compared to, for that area, but it really fits into the area. It's a beautiful home. And him and his wife, they're just like, everyday folks. They walk every morning up Buck Avenue.
Hmm. Hey, speaking, and I'm sorry, we're changing a bit from the nut tree. How are your 2 Airedales?
Oh, they're fine. Are they in here?
They're in bed.
Oh,
They're night night. They're night night. Yeah.
Are they come in?
Yeah, they're in the house.
Cooper.
They're in bed.
Cooper and Juno, right?
Cooper and Juno. Oh, Cooper's getting up. Come here, Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's thinking about it.
Come here, you.
Yeah.
He's like,
I have a Scottish Terrier, and my dog does the same thing. I call her, and she looks at me like, "Well, give me a reason why I should come there."
Yes, Cooper.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
Cute. Oh.
Look at that face.
Oh, what a face. He's adorable.
Yeah. Paint Cooper then? Have you painted a canvas with Cooper?
Yes, the
Yes,
circus in the circus.
Oh,
wait.
Here's Juno. She's my little fluff girl.
Oh.
How old are
Yes,
they?
there are Cooper and Juno canvases, of course.
How old are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. In your circus series, you have Airedales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put some Airedales in the circus. Yes, that's circus dogs. Huh?
Silly.
They're good dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you are they staying away from skunks or no?
Well, at night when I take them out, their last time or after dark, I take them out on a leash.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't trust, because if there's a skunk out there, well,
Yeah.
one of the skunks that Cooper got, it was during the day, so we were really concerned, and I think he went into quarantine, didn't he? He had to be quarantined
Several times.
Yeah, because we always have the skunk. If there's any skunk left, we have it checked for rabies.
They have to be
Of course.
tested.
And they have to be tested.
Oh gosh.
Once it just wasn't determined, we always kind of have to wait. It takes a few days, and there just wasn't enough left of the skunk.
Oh, geez.
To determine, so the dogs had to be quarantined.
Well, that's what they do though. They're vermin hunters, so
Yeah,
they're on a first
They're
name.
the giant vermin hunters.
They have a skunk.
Airedale is the largest terrier.
That's why I said they're the
They're just
giant
doing their
vermin
job.
hunters. They're the large terriers.
Doing their job.
Terrier.
They are.
I had a great uncle who had an Airedale when I was a little kid, and they lived in Santa Cruz. My Aunt Bee and my Uncle Grant, and I spent time with them in the summer. My mom would farm us out, farm the girls out, And I went to stay with my Aunt B, my great Aunt B, and my great Uncle Grant. And they had an Airedale named Jules. And I just thought he was the best dog ever. So I always had a soft spot. These are our, I had one other Airedale and then these two. They're local dogs, a local person. One of our county supervisors, his wife,
Oh,
had the mom and dad and bred them, and so they're local dogs.
yay! We love it. That's fantastic.
How old are they, Melissa? How old?
They're 9.
Oh, okay, okay.
They're 9 years old,
Mm.
so they're getting up there.
Yeah.
But
They're
that's still,
good.
My Scotty will be 8 next year, and I have to say, Scottish Terriers, though they're a small dog, they don't live as long as other small dogs. So I think the because I've had them consistently, I, like you, was very impressed. My parents had a Scotty dog when I was born, and he was my protector, and I never forgot it. And I've always had Scotties. So anyway, but I've never had one live past 12. So yeah, anyway, maybe it's just purebred dog. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's, I'm thinking 12 about.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Big
they're
dog, big dogs.
big dogs. Yeah, they don't always last as long.
Yeah.
You have a million dogs
You
too.
could get a donkey. They last for 45 years.
Yeah.
A donkey's going to outlive me. I need to find him a home.
I was going to say, do you have him in your will as to who will be his caretaker?
Yes, my daughters have been told that they
Oh,
have to take over.
How old is Rico Suave now?
Rico Suave is 25, and
Wow.
I got him originally when he was about 5, and then I lost him in my divorce.
Oh.
And then I got him back. So I didn't have him for 15 years, and he remembers me and he remembers my kids, and
That's amazing.
yeah.
So how come you got him back?
He actually stayed within the family. He went through my kids' in-laws and stuff. So I got him back because my daughter's mother-in-law, who had him last, passed away.
Got it.
They asked me if I wanted him back, and I said, of course. So luckily I had a place for him. So he's in my backyard, literally in my backyard.
But you live in you have several.
I have an acre, so I can have him. Yeah.
Oh, 1 acre. Okay.
Minis, so he has playmates. But
You have a mini horse, don't you? 2 mini horses?
I have 3 miniature horses, 2
Oh.
girls and a boy. So Rico has his own miniature horse named Picasso.
Of course.
And they play and wrestle. They have toys, and Picasso has a big, one of those exercise balls that we exercise on, the big ones.
Yeah.
One of those, and he turns around and puts his butt on it and bounces on it. And Rico pick up I have rubber boots out there and cones and what else? A rubber bowl. And they pick those up and they hit each other over the head. They're very entertaining.
I have a friend who has 2 border collies, and she has one large exercise ball, which she doesn't use anymore. And they herd the damn thing. They run around the fence line and around the corner and around.
They're smart. They're very smart dogs. So I was going to ask, are you girls currently working on anything in terms of needlepoint projects, or are you busy just developing new items for the line? Because I know you both occasionally do needlepoint.
I am. I don't know if I want to show it off. There's not much done to it. I am working. I could show you the pile of things I've started.
Me too.
Good
We're
at
just like you guys. We have a stash and we've got 20 things that have all been started. And I have to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, figure out which one I want to work on.
Oh,
I
so
need to go get one.
so obviously from your background, you do needlepoint as well, and I mean, with your mom being a needlepointer, so I don't know. I think there's a genetic disposition to be tactile and want to touch things. That's what I've decided. It kind of comes down to that, where women want to work with their hands. There's some predisposition to be tactile and want to feel that thread in their hand and feel the canvas. And I don't know.
And then I both have only children, girls, one girl apiece. And neither of us, them, got the gene to do any kind of crafty anything.
No, no.
I have three daughters and none of them are interested in needlepoint at all. But I have two granddaughters and this year, as part of their, they're being homeschooled because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I started a project. I put a kit together with one of Melissa's birds that was on 13 mesh, pretty simple, very basic. And I wrote them up instructions and I went to their house and we had our first lesson and now we're doing it by
Zoom,
FaceTime, whatever. And they are actually both stitching. So I am like,
lovely.
so it skips a generation. I just want you to know that.
Hey, that's
Very
fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
Yay.
very excited because I've tried a couple times and the two granddaughters are very interested in it. So, okay,
That's
Melissa.
wonderful.
Okay, this was my summer cabin project. I started working on this.
Oh, yeah.
So I like the bees. Melissa means bee, so that's why my logo is a bee. So there's that one. I'm working on this little tiny thing. Because it goes in a little box.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Adorable.
done in a couple of days. So it might be a Christmas.
Now, was that decorative stitches I saw on that? Was those little, it looks like part of it is raised?
Oh, I've only done the background.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm seeing. Okay.
Yeah. So I just was choosing threads for the flower.
Right.
So I have a lot of threads.
Yeah, where?
Let's see. I've got this. This was a retreat piece.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Joe finished hers. she went to this retreat with me. So hers is all done. She's really good. So that's a current project. These were just the things that were laying around my stitching chair. And then I've got this also. And there's a lot of beading on this. I really like the beads for some reason.
Yeah.
This is a nest.
A lot
This
of
is
back.
class. Yeah.
So see, we're just like you.
Yeah.
We have a big stash.
And then I want to do this. This is I did about maybe I did about 3 of these. And my son's girlfriend is from San Francisco, so I thought this would be a good thing to do for her.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Vintage Melissa.
It's a vintage.
Yeah.
So what I did maybe three or four. I think I did Chicago, the Great Lakes.
Those are retired.
Those are retired.
You know, unless you live in San Francisco, you might not be interested in that exactly. But.
Right, exactly. Yeah. We just had a lady call the store today and asked, were we running any series next year? And I said, oh, yes. I said, well, we have a series. It's exclusive to the store. blah, blah, blah. It started as the 12 Days of California. I said, now we're kind of up to 30 Days of California. And I'm, giving this woman my best sales pitch on, and the first one's going to be the Golden Gate Bridge, and the second one's going to be blah, blah, blah. And she goes, ma'am, I live in Connecticut. I could care less about the 12 Days of California. And I mean, she took the wind out of my sails completely. And I go, well, I said, Californians, I said, we're kind of like Texans. We have a very soft place in our hearts for California. So, and she goes, yes, I've kind of noticed that. Well, thank you for your time, slam. So, yeah. Oh, well, that's okay. There's plenty of Californians who needlepoint that might be interested in our series next year. So that's okay. No problem. But
It's
so
a cute idea.
yeah, obviously now with with all of this big resurgence, are you guys experiencing an uptick in your business, or is it flat because of COVID and because you couldn't, necessarily, I'm assuming when you were sheltered, or you were sheltered, you had to have been. So
We were sheltered for a couple of months, which is
right.
why everybody's at the 5-month bar, because everything pretty much stopped for the 5 months, nothing in, nothing out for 2 months.
Right.
That's why we're at 5 months still, because the orders didn't stop during that time.
No. Well,
So,
I worked the store alone and I fielded mail orders. So,
yeah.
And
But we've been very steady. We're very steady. And, we started on our website. So this is for everybody. On our website, we started a new category called Designs Currently in Stock. So any of you can go to that on our website and see what I have that's sitting on the shelf today that you can buy through Linda, and I can get it to you within, a couple of weeks, or, and that's been very popular because, as stitchers, heaven forbid we run out of something to stitch. So, so we've been very steady in that way. And so that's been really helpful for us. It's been keeping us going and steady, as well as being able to service and get stuff out to the stitchers and to the shops. And so that's a very fluid category. There's over 1,000 items listed of our 13,000 designs. So if you're looking for something today to purchase from Linda, is it okay for me to do an ad? That's where you can go to look for stuff that, we have available today to ship that you don't have to wait 5 months for. So.
And if any of you do not know Melissa's web address, I'd be happy to email a link to you, or you can just Google Melissa Shirley Designs, and I'm sure it would come up, and you'd be able to look at all those designs that are in stock.
Melissa Shirley
I
Designs.
found it on your website, Linda, but it took me a little bit.
MelissaShirleyDesigns.com.
See, easy cheesy. Yeah, it's user friendly. And the website is a fabulous website. I think the photographs are excellent, and you can enlarge them, which is really nice. So
it loads fast.
And loads fast. Yep, exactly right. So that's really good. So how have you ladies been coping during COVID? I mean, you live in an area that is not as populated as the Bay Area. Are people being kind to one another, or are people being defiant, or how is your population in your area?
I think because we are so rural and our county was, it's just different from the Bay Area. We just, all summer long, we were going up into the mountains, and we just haven't felt it probably quite as much as you down in the Bay Area. But we had to make certain adjustments. I have a studio at my home. And so I have a couple of painting assistants, and they come and we all work together. But we can, our desks are all far apart. And then Joe is at our office, which is a little house just a few blocks away. So everybody's it's pretty accessible, and it's worked out. I mean, we're lucky. It's worked out pretty well. Everybody's healthy, and so
We've been locked down. We just got locked down again, like everybody, I guess, in California a couple days ago. So our numbers just skyrocketed for the first time, which has been unusual. We've been very lucky. We haven't had any high numbers, but now all of a sudden, we've had more in the last week than we've had in 6 months. So,
Wow.
Because we are kind of a tight community, so it depends on where you go. I'm sure it's like everywhere, but.
Well, I will say San Mateo County, which my store is in San Mateo County, our medical head, the head medical person defied the order from Gavin. So we are one of the counties that is not locked down right now. So we're still able to operate like we were. Obviously, we've modified a lot of the rules in order to cope with COVID. But I have to say that, for the first time, I feel so hopeful with the vaccine coming out. And I mean, I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited to be able to take my mask off, because that is just not fun. But other than that, I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I think obviously we're all here to talk about it. So that's a really good thing.
Mhm.
And, I mean, honestly, waiting 5 months for a canvas compared to what the country has gone through in terms of the number of people who have succumbed to this disease, I think we're doing good, right? We're doing good. So
yeah, I think we're pretty lucky.
I think we're double, triple lucky. I think so
Yeah.
too. Yep, I agree with you. I figure we've got a roof over our heads. We're doing good. So, right? Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So 5 months is hell, that's half baby time. So there you go. It took me 9 months to have a baby. So there you go. I can wait 5 months, no problem. For the baby canvas. So that's not a big deal. But it sounds like then, so your numbers have gone up, and so your county, when they say it's shut down, then there's no longer indoor dining available. Your hair salons, nail salons are closed, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. So now does that lockdown include sheltering again? Shelter in place?
Basically, but, like the schools are still open.
Oh,
Like our school opened like a month ago. So those are still open. But it's mostly just the personal places like the nail salons and that. I mean, the shops like downtown and everything, they just have to do 20%. So all the retail shops are staying open. All the non-essential like offices and stuff are supposed to close. But, when there's only one of me in the office, I figure it's okay, but,
Mm-hmm.
and the restaurants are takeout only, which isn't a big deal because we don't really have any restaurants up here. We have taco trucks. We have my Mexican food restaurant at the gas station is the best in the county. But
we've got taste.
They're close.
I know.
But I mean, we're a little town here, so I mean, even you can go to the casino, I guess. That's just up the street. So, but even that, yeah, but you have to wear masks.
Oh, at the casino?
Can you imagine going to a casino right now? I'm just like,
No.
As much as because I have a birthday coming up, so it's always intriguing to me that, gee, maybe maybe I'd win big on my birthday, but I don't think I would step foot in a casino right now.
Yeah.
no.
And I think they're allowed to operate because they're on Native American land. That's my understanding.
They've been very, very good at following all the guidelines. So, because they're very big supporters in the county. They're very active in Amador County. So
I would think that there would
fires and stuff. They
Oh,
open up their campground in the hotel to people.
oh, that's
in
nice.
the fires and stuff. So they're very supportive of the community. So.
Well, that's good. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
They're very community minded.
Yeah.
The tribe.
What
Our-
tribe
our
is?
tribe.
Oh, what?
It's a Miwok tribe.
Oh, okay, sure, got
And
it.
it started with one family, and the woman, the matriarch of the family, she had a bingo. She had bingo. Started out as a bingo parlor. and now it's like this huge entity. They have,
They have like 800 acres. I mean, it's like crazy.
Oh, jeez.
RV parking, everything. So.
That
gas
is
station,
amazing.
that's where I get my gas.
Wow, 800 acres. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Isn't that's what Thunder Valley is your casino?
No,
No,
it's
Jackson.
not. I think that's north of us, I think.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
We have the Jackson Rancheria.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
adventure.
of course it is.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Thunder Valley is Placer County.
Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
Yeah, by Roseville.
Uh-huh.
Got it. And then, do you think we'll have a show next year of any type, or do you think it'll be virtual, or?
No, we were just talking about that earlier, and it will be interesting to see. Because it's right around the corner.
It sure is.
Well, we could roll the dice.
I still have a credit because I did buy a ticket to Orlando, which perhaps you all did too.
Yeah.
And bought it through United Airlines, so I've got a credit that I was told I have to use by January. And it's like, oh, okay, well.
You should check and see if they'll extend it.
That's what I'm hoping. The guy sort of explained that I could even fly to LA, and what they would do is they would still, whatever the balance is, they would honor through the rest of next year. So
okay.
they just do that if they open Disneyland or something, you never know. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening.
Like going on a plane right now sounds really good, huh?
Well, I can say, I don't know what United is doing, but I've heard that some of them are certainly keeping the middle seat empty, and I don't know what United is doing though. So someone told me they were on an American Airlines flight and it was full, which to me just sounds stupid, but no.
I don't know.
Next
year, new year.
Yeah, when I become Empress of the world, and that is likely to happen, that I will change all those rules. So there you go.
Well, then I'll vote for you.
Yay! Woohoo!
And so will Rico.
Yeah. Oh, he's so cute. I just love all those posts you do on Facebook with him. He's hysterical. He must keep you laughing, certainly.
He does. It's worth waking up in the morning too. I see him every morning and every night. He gives me a hug and a kiss.
Oh, I didn't realize they lived 45 years. That's like a parrot or a cockatoo.
Well, yeah, because my horses can live 40 years. So yeah, they live a long time if they're healthy. So
that's amazing. That is amazing. Well, ladies, I think we are sort of in the end of our discussion with Melissa Shirley and Joe Luttrell. And I feel like it's so wonderful to get to see both of you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. And I'm hoping certainly that we do have a show next year that we'll be able to attend. But I have to say, we all owe both of you a big debt of gratitude for bringing beauty into our lives. And we all do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just want to say hi to Stephanie Wong. She's my home girl.
Oh, yeah.
well, and she won the raffle, the lucky dog. There you go. Yay.
Must have been some setup there, right?
Inspiring designs, Melissa, really and truly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you.
I think everyone who's attended is a big fan.
I
Linda,
hope
this
to
was
stitch
so-
with you again.
Pardon me?
I hope to stitch with you again at an Old World Designs retreat. I had a help.
That would be
design at that
fun.
time.
That would be double fun if we can have a retreat again. You know, Carmel is calling us. What can I say?
Oh, well, that's my old stomping grounds. I'd love to go back.
Fine. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if we can all get vaccinated. I mean, I want to be first in line, but I know I won't. But you know, just don't want to wear a mask anymore because it makes my nose run. So there you go.
I don't go anywhere, so I don't have to.
Oh, see, I have to say that I kind of have gone everywhere. I'm not fly on a plane, but I've even been to the movies. When they opened the movie theaters, I went to the movies. But they socially distance us. I mean, I don't feel like I was in danger at all. But I got to eat movie popcorn. I was happy. So
What'd you go see?
Oh, the theaters, because they were trying to drum up business for $5 each. Steve and I went and saw Hocus Pocus before October 31st
Oh,
with
fun.
Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, which the movie's delightful, but Bette Midler just steals the show. I mean, she sings in it and it's wonderful. And
I love her little teeth.
I know. And she's so funny in it. So it was wonderful to be able to go and sit in a movie theater in the dark and eat popcorn and drink a diet soda. So there you go. So, well, ladies, I think we are at the tail end of our evening. I want to thank both Joe and Melissa for taking time out of their day to talk with us and answer our questions. So we certainly do appreciate that you were here this evening. And for those of you who are unaware, we are currently running a Melissa Shirley trunk show. I will tell all of you that whenever we run a trunk show, if we do not have the item in the show and it has to be ordered, we will still extend the trunk show discount to you. So yeah, if that has not been understood, I will say it so that everyone knows. And then the other thing that I am going to broadcast, the Old World Designs is about to turn 30 as of January 1st of 2021.
Wow.
And we, of course, had planned a party, which is not going to happen. What we're hoping to do is by December of next year, so 1 year from now, we would like to close the year by having a party at the store. And of course, you ladies are cordially invited. It would be double fun to have you. So I'm just going to throw that out there so you can all put it on your calendars for next year.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you again. We do appreciate. Thanks.
Thanks for doing
Bye.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
It was fun.
Bye.
Bye.